According to Jewish Midrashic tradition, Adam possessed a special rod or staff that was created at twilight on the eve of the first Sabbath. This wasn't an ordinary staff. It was a divinely crafted object that symbolized authority given by God, and it was passed down through generations. Some traditions say this staff was fashioned from a branch of the tree of life, while others say it came from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. Personally, I find the tree of life explanation more convincing, because it's hard to imagine God allowing something tied to disobedience to become an instrument of divine authority. What's consistent across these traditions is the lineage of the staff. It was passed from Adam to Enoch, then to Noah, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Joseph, and eventually to Moses. This is the same staff Moses used to perform signs before Pharaoh, to part the Red Sea, and to bring water from the rock. After Moses, the staff didn't disappear. According to Midrashic accounts, it was passed down to the kings of Judah. Scripture even hints at this in 1 Samuel 17:40. When King David is described as taking his staff in his hand, rabbinic tradition understands this as a reference to Moses' staff, meaning that the authority carried by the rod continued through Israel's royal line. Eventually, the staff was hidden before the destruction of the first temple, and after that, its whereabouts became unknown. Today, there are claims that it may still exist. One of the most well-known comes from the Topkapi Palace, which houses sacred relics and claims to possess the staff of Moses. Another claim exists in Britain. But there's an issue. The Midrash often describes this rod as being made of sapphire, and the staff's claim today are not. So while the tradition is fascinating, the physical artifacts don't fully match the ancient descriptions. What really matters isn't where the staff is today, but what it represents. The rod symbolizes divinely delegated authority that moves through history. And that brings us forward into the New Testament. In Revelation, Jesus Christ is described as returning with a rod of iron. This image appears multiple times. He is said to rule the nations with a rod of iron and to shatter them like pottery. The language is intentional. It's royal, judicial, and authoritative, so there's a progression here. Adam's sapphire rod represents original authority given to humanity. Moses' staff represents miraculous authority exercised on God's behalf. David's staff represents royal authority. And then Jesus' rod of iron represents final and perfected authority, not symbolic, not temporary, but absolute. The story of the rod isn't really about an object at all. It's about how authority moves from creation, through covenant, through kingship, and ultimately to judgment and restoration.